I'm inviting Laura Lam on the screen right now. Let's hope the internet gods are kind to us.
Oh,
Hello!
hello.
It's very
This
dark
is
where you are.
it's in the wrong direction.
Well, while you get set up, I will welcome everyone to the Orbit Tavern. It is Thursday at 5, happy hour in New York City, where I am right now. And every week we are pairing cocktails with a new Orbit release and welcoming a new Orbit author on screen to celebrate their book release and talk about their book and talk about cocktails and everything like that. I think Laura's having a little connection trouble. We're going to retry and give that a shot. Hold on. I don't know who Allison2150 is, but that is not Laura Lam. There she is. Oops. There she is. Ta-da! It always takes a little while to get these things started. Trying again. Hello!
It's still facing the wrong way. I don't know why. That's just my cat stand. That's not terribly exciting. I'm going to try going off my Wi-Fi because I think...
Yeah, try doing cellular and see if that helps, because we're just getting the never-ending circle of non-waving. So I'm gonna boot you out and then invite you in more. All right. Can't predict things live, everybody. I hope you're all excited for a cobbler today. If you have any leftover fruit or fruit that is going not so great in your quarantine refrigerator, now is the time to get it out, or after this video, and we will be using it. You can pretty much make a cobbler out of anything, which is why I was excited to do it. Hello!
Hello.
Now,
Oh, God, I don't know why this isn't working.
are you on cellular?
I am now, yeah.
Huh.
Craig, come help. If I could even get it to start, but it's not even moving for you, is it? Is it just frozen?
No, we don't. It's just a freeze frame for us right now.
Craig, I need your help.
All right, I'm gonna boot you out one more time, and
okay. I don't know.
Give me a request when hopefully it reboots itself.
Okay.
Okay. Too many people on the internet, in the world, in lockdown. Anyways, I was saying, a cobbler is a great drink to use up things in your fridge. It's pretty much a spirit, any spirit that you want. You know, traditionally the original cobbler was made with sherry, so it was a fortified wine, so it was very not alcoholic drink. So you could drink a lot of them out in the sun, and you know, it'd be very refreshing, but not too alcoholic. Okay, here we go. Let's try Laura one more time. All right, fingers crossed. Hello.
Hi. I don't think it's going to work for me, sadly. I am trying.
Oh no.
It worked when we did our test. I don't understand.
It did work when we did our test. Okay.
I just have to be a voice, I'm afraid. I put on lipstick and everything.
All right. Well, you know what? A voice is fine. I like a voice. You could be a lady of mystery. For now, I will. Too bad I can't put a picture of your book cover in that space. This is the book we're talking about. Laura Lam is on the call right now, and we're going to keep going. And hopefully her internet will behave itself. I'm going to get behind the bar, which is a low bar. This is my coffee table. We set the bar low in quarantine. So low that I can't even see the top of my head. Hi. Hold on. We're having technical difficulties everywhere. I forgot to take this up a little bit.
You can basically just see the cupcake box because my friend sent me cupcakes today, and that's what I was using to prop up prop up my camera.
Well, how has your book release been going?
It's been
Um,
as it's gone very well aside from the whole pandemic thing. I
Aside
could
from
have
the
done
whole
without that.
pandemic thing, yeah, that is, we're in the world of virtual book events.
Mhm.
But maybe you could tell us a little bit about your book while we are getting set up.
Yeah, so Goldilocks is about the first all-female space mission to an exosolar planet called Cavendish, which is 10.5 light years away, and it's a fake planet around the real star of Epsilon Eridani. And basically in this future, everything's terrible. It's Mike Pence's like ideal future with women's
Oh God!
rights being eroded. Yeah, it's not terribly cheery in that respect. And so these women are
Oh no! Now we lost the voice entirely. Um, so while we're hopefully getting Laura back, I'll keep talking about cocktails. I think for a minute. Let's try bringing her back one more time before we. Oh wait, we
wait,
have
am I
a
back?
face.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I can't see myself though, so this is probably a terrible angle, isn't it? All right.
It's okay.
Can
You're
you see
good.
me? All right.
You're a
I
little
can't see
dark.
myself.
You're a little backlit. Ah, there we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
here I can look really creepy with my little light.
Well, we were talking about how the future was extremely not feminist in your
Yeah,
in your
basically.
book. So I mean, horror lighting works.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So basically the women after they're kicked off the mission at the last minute to be replaced by men decide screw that and they steal the spaceship and take off to save humanity because Earth only has 30 years left of habitability.
Okay. And you know what I loved, and we can get into the main character and pairing in a minute. I loved the names of everything. Like the ship is the Atalanta, and the planet is the Cavendish. Could
Yeah.
you? I mean, naming is so incredibly important in books, but also to authors themselves. Like, why those names?
So I chose the Atalanta because she was the only woman who, went on the Argo to find the Golden Fleece. And so I thought that fit well because she was also excellent at running and wrestling and bucking gender trends at the time. So she seemed perfect. And then I chose Cavendish for Margaret Cavendish, who wrote the proto-utopian book, The Blazing World, which is very feminist for 1666. Unfortunately, a little bit colonialist and super pro monarchy and slightly weird, but I thought it was still really interesting to incorporate that. And then a little Easter egg is that most of the women on the spaceship are actually mixed up first and last names of the Mercury 13, who are the women who did the same tests as
Oh,
the Mercury 7.
cool.
And Lovelace, Naomi Lovelace, that was the name of the doctor who headed up the whole thing, and it's also a little nod to Ada Lovelace. And yeah, so the Mercury 13, if you don't know who they are, did the test just as well or better than the men of Mercury 7, but weren't allowed to go into space because they were women.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
That's how I
this
feel
is
about
sort of
that here.
this is me
Um,
trying to right that wrong a little bit.
yeah, absolutely. Oops, sorry, leaning on the bar too hard. Um, and what I really like that Naomi, the main voice of the book, is the ship's botanist.
Mhm.
And why did you pick the botanist?
I
Like,
think because it turns out that the theme of like growth and decay were really important in the book. So it was really natural to make her be the botanist who is growing things and trying to stop them from dying. And it also is sort of like, how do you grow a society? How do you stop a planet from dying and decaying? So it was really a natural thematic choice. And I also thought of all the jobs on the ship, I could probably most convincingly write a botanist, even though I can't even grow stuff. But I don't know, for some reason that seemed the most interesting to me. And I also had a friend who I'm interviewing on May 14th for an event for the Chimera Festival as a little plug. But she runs a lab that looks at algae in the context of climate change at the University of Edinburgh. So she basically is Naomi, except not an astronaut. So she was able to help me a lot with the science I needed to know, and she did a science read for me and stuff, which was
oh,
great.
that's fantastic. Well, since we're talking about Naomi, I really latched on to, when thinking about cocktails, I latched on to, we had joked a little earlier that there are no good cocktails with algae, and I did not feel confident taking on algae as a cocktail ingredient. However, there are berries in the book.
Yeah. So that's one of the things they can grow on the ship, because most of what they eat on the ship is algae because it doesn't need soil, it just needs light basically, and that also helps the oxygen on the ship as well. But she's trying to learn how to grow. She has two experiments. She has food that's in earth soil that she's trying to grow and keep alive, and then she has food in Cavendish soil, or soil that mirrors the Cavendish levels, which is different minerals. And one of the things you can grow more easily is berries. So that's like their treat now and again, are some raspberries basically.
Awesome. No, I definitely feel it because raspberries have been my quarantine treat, and they go bad or kind of off so quickly that I thought a great cocktail to pair with Goldilocks would be a cobbler. And a cobbler is pretty much just a spirit, any spirit you want. The original one was sherry or like a fortified wine, so it wasn't very alcoholic. But if you think about mint juleps, which are a kind of cobbler, you're using whiskey, or a gin cobbler, which we're going to do today because gin goes really well with berries, and that's a famous drink called a bramble. But a cobbler is just spirit plus fruit plus sugar plus ice, and it's called a cobbler because it became famous in the 1830s and 40s, which was the first time that people could get ice commercially. So it was like the upper society drink in the summer. Everybody was drinking their drinks on ice, and it was actually people think that it was not when the straw was invented, but it was when the straw came to its prominence, because you don't want to stick your face in a glass full of crushed ice. So that's when straws became, more used. And where did I put my, so a cobbler shaker was invented to make cobblers. This is a little teeny one, but the 3-part shaker that people are used to for martinis is actually called a cobbler shaker, and it keeps the fruit guts kind of out of your drink. I'm not going to use that guy because he's really little, but I have a mason jar here, which if you're not a cocktail nerd and you don't have all the tools in your house, most people can use mason jars. So I have a little cobbler top on my mason jar. And while we talk about that, so do they specifically grow a specific kind of berry? Like, is there a berry that's a star?
I mentioned raspberry. I haven't read it since October after reading it like 20 times. So there's definitely raspberries in there. There might be blackberries as well. I don't remember. Okay. But yeah, they were easy to grow. They also have tomatoes. They have sweet potatoes, a few other things. But yeah, mostly they eat NutriBlocks, which I describe as Turkish delight, but even more foul. So they're just gelatinous globs of algae.
Turkish delight is such a disappointment. I remember thinking Turkish delight was like the best thing in the world from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No,
and then we were
all oversold the magic of Turkish delight. I still like it okay, like especially if they have little bits of nuts in them. I'll still eat them, but I don't really go out of my way to eat them.
I think the first one, there's all kinds of different flavors, but I had the rose flavor, and I'm not a big fan of floral flavor.
It is a bit like eating potpourri, yes.
Yeah, not so much. Okay, so this is, they could have made cobblers on Atalanta, which, don't tell me that I'm wrong. But anyway, so for a cobbler, you put a bunch of fruit in the bottom of a glass, a tin, a mason jar, whatever you've got. And I have a fancy muddler, but you can use whatever squashing device you have. And you muddle the fruit on the bottom, which is very easy with berries, a little harder with citrus, but you don't want to squash it too hard, but you just squash it so all of the juice and everything comes out of it. And then you take 2 ounces of your spirit, and I'm using gin, but you could easily be using whiskey or tequila or mezcal or whatever your favorite spirit is. Pour 2 ounces in, and then I have simple syrup here, and that's the sugar. So simple syrup is just 1-to-1 sugar and water. Whoops. So you put a half an ounce of simple syrup in, and I'm going to put the recipes up on Orbit Books, a post after this is done, so don't worry about taking notes. So you've got the berries and the sugar syrup and the gin in here, and I'm going to put my shaker top on here. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to put some ice in. And then put a couple ice cubes in there. Close that up. Make sure you put the lid on. And then, doesn't make as satisfying a sound as the metal shakers do, but mason jars are more handy. So I've got that ready. And then to make crushed ice, oops, excuse me, I have a fancy ice bag because, again, cocktail nerd. But you could use a dish towel or, you know, a regular towel or a washcloth. You put a bunch of ice in here. You close up the bag. And this is where you get your pandemic stress out. I have a big mallet. Meat tenderizers do well. Anything. You can even use the bottom of a mason jar, whatever you've got. This is going to be loud. Very hard ice. I'm going to put it down here so it's a little less loud. All right. And then, oh my God, Laura, take the stage for a second because I forgot a glass. I'm the worst bartender in the world today. I will be right back.
So I guess I could say what I'm drinking, which is not near as fancy, but I'm just drinking tonic and gin. And the gin I chose is one I got on the Isle of Harris last year when we could actually travel. And so this is Isle of Harris gin that has a really pretty bottle, which is mostly why I bought it. But it's also infused with sugar kelp. So it's vaguely in the realm of algae. But yeah, it's really
oh my
great.
God. I need to get that for our next, if there's a round 2 of cocktails for space exploration.
Yeah, for sure. It's really nice. And I went to the distillery and stuff on the Isle of Harris, which is one of the Scottish Isles.
I'm very jealous. I've never been to Edinburgh, and I've never been to Scotland, and I am absolutely dying to do a Scotch tour.
Yeah. Well, I've now, you know, commandeered you. I'll take you around to all the cool speakeasy bars and stuff in Edinburgh.
Oh my God, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
Eventually. Making a mess, but as you can see, the ice has been thoroughly destroyed by my mallet. And then you strain. Take the lid off. Take the lid off. Now when the cold is contracted. All right. Slight bartender fail. You pour your drink over the crushed ice. And you can put the fruit, you can put the fruit on top, and you can garnish it. And you can also use bitters, which are like spices for drinks. And you can put some bitters on top to color the ice. And then you have a bramble. I mean, cool. A berry bramble or a fruit cobbler. You're drinking a gin and tonic, I heard?
Yeah.
I believe. Cool. Do you have a kind of tonic that you like, or?
Just usually whatever's on offer. Don't tend to get too fancy. But if I do get fancy, Fever Tree have some different flavored ones, which are nice sometimes.
I saw they put out a grapefruit one, which sounds great for the summer.
That is good. Yeah, I've had that one before.
It's good. Like a grapefruit gin and tonic, which is about this color. And do you have a favorite bar in Edinburgh?
I really like Panda and Sons, which it looks like it's a barber shop, but it's not. You go downstairs and behind a fake bookcase, and then there's a bar, and they'll put in different scents through like the air con, so it'll smell differently, and that's really fun.
Oh my God, that's super cool.
And there's another one, like one of the drinks that they serve comes in a bell jar full of smoke, and then they lift it up, and it's very dramatic. I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. There's a whole subset of great bars that are somehow literary or somehow, you know, like hidden behind a bookcase or something like that, which I think should be its own, you know, special cocktail speakeasy category.
There's another one too where you can order drinks based off tarot cards, and it's all very like mysterious and kind of circusy themed. That one's good too. I forget
Oh,
what
that's
it's
amazing. So as soon as the quarantine lifts, I'll be seeing you in Edinburgh.
Yeah, well, flights will probably be cheap for a while, so
That is
might
true.
as well.
Well, thank you for coming on to Orbit Tavern today and sharing a little bit about Goldilocks. Again, it just came out Tuesday, so congratulations on your book birthday.
Thank
and do you have a favorite toast that you like to use?
I like to use the Aberdeen specific one. So I live in Edinburgh now, but I lived in Aberdeen for 7 years. And so there's a Doric saying, which is Lang may your lum reek, which means basically long will there be smoke rising from your chimney, aka you can feed yourself.
That is lovely.
Yeah, so Lang may your lum reek.
I'm not going to say it again, but long may your chimney be smoky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers. I'm going to climb around to see you a little bit closer and show again both the book,
Yes,
Goldilocks,
available at all good retailers. I am desperate for you to buy it because bookstores are closed, and this is terrifying.
And now's a really good time to catch up on reading, and this is a very timely book.
They are all self-isolating on the spaceship.
Yes, we're all in quarantine. And here's my cobbler, and there's your gin and tonic. Yep. Cheers again. Cheers. May your chimney be smoky, which is going to be my version of that.
Yeah. Cheers. I'll send it to you spelled out, and you'll be more confident saying it.
Yeah, actually, could you do that? Because then I'll put it in the the wrap-up post. That would be fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Good luck on your release week. Happy book birthday. You just had an event with Ann Leckie.
I did. That was amazing. It was
Tuesday, which is on Crowdcast. If you go on crowdcast.io and look for Orbit Live is our account, and you can catch that talk between Laura and Ann Leckie. You can catch a bunch of other talks that we've been doing live in quarantine, and support your local bookseller if they are still selling books, and check out Goldilocks.
Yeah, and I'm going to tune into the N.K. Jemisin and the Martha Wells event that's on at 6 today.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you've got about half an hour, everybody, to go mash up your fruit and make yourself a cobbler, and and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in Edinburgh soon.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.